we see it with cannabis as well. And I get it. I understand why people are doing this because it remains very controversial. And so you want some kind of justification. But you should remember at the end of the day that no justification should be required.
Right.
And if you get too lost in the justification, you might forget why you're doing it in the first place. Like an analogy that I've been thinking about for years, like this is kind of like a long analogy, so it's gonna be like a 1 minute analogy. But like it would be like if in the 60s people started listening to music for the first time, and they decided that it was associated with the counterculture, anti-war movement. Some people were listening to music too loud and causing irreversible damage to their hearing. And so medical doctors said, okay, this is clearly a problem. This person is deaf as a result of listening to music. We've got to regulate it. We've got to prohibit it to protect people because it's a problem. And then on top of that, there's an added advantage that because everyone is going to continue listening to music, we can selectively prosecute the people that we want to because it's a little crime that everyone is committing. And then that keeps going for years, and people continue listening to music and playing music, and they create their own biases where they say it's okay to listen to music. It's just as long as you don't perform it or record it. It's all right as long as you're just a listener. And then eventually some scientists get together and they all say that they've never listened to music before because if they had, it would somehow bias their understanding and that would be terrible. So they've never listened to music before, but they've looked at old pre-prohibition information on music and they've decided scientifically that it is in fact very good and can be used as a medicine. And then everyone embraces it as a medicine and says, oh, I just listened to music today. It was so wonderful for my anxiety. It was really fantastic. And that would be great and that would be good. And that would be a way to make music legal again. But it also would entirely miss the point that music doesn't have to be a medicine. And to be clear, you could do these studies with music. Music is a medicine. There is music therapy. I'm sure you could design a study where music treats neurodegenerative diseases or music treats depression. I guarantee it. And you could get positive results. And you could then say that music is a medicine. But so what? It doesn't need to be a medicine.
Right.
And I just want people to, as much as I enjoy this new medicalization and the decriminalization that's taking place, I just hope people remember that it doesn't need to be any of those things. And this history of justification is ultimately something that we are doing because we're afraid that to acknowledge the fact that we should be free to do whatever we want, regardless of whether or not it's good.